Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul, and today we're going to be reviewing My Hero Academia, Volume 6. Now, if some of you are asking what took me so long with putting up my next video, well, that's simple. I was in a battle with a Dominatrix. And in case you're wondering, yes, every Dominatrix learns how to use her whip in a way to choke you. I'm not sure why that would be the first thing they would learn when you're learning how to use a whip, but it is something that you learn. Weird, huh? By the way, if you hear any sound in the background, I'm not sure what's going on right now. I think it's a war, or something or other. Oh, I know that's really annoying. So let's hope that it's not gonna be much. So, anyways, before we begin, let's give you the usual disclaimer at the beginning of the video. I am not a kid-specific channel. The content that I produce might look like it's kid-specific, but most likely I'm either going to talk about something more mature, say words that are technically more mature for a child to hear. I'm really not sure where the curse words going on that list, or anything more mature. So, if you're a child, I would advise you not to watch my videos since you'll probably be exposed to one of the things you're not supposed to be exposed to. With that said, let's finally get into this review. Now, Volume 6 is where I would say a lot of the core and main points in My Academia story really start happening and we really start realizing them. And not just with honestly, one of the best villains, as well as one of the best characters in My Academia, with Stain being introduced in this volume. I mean, in general. Like, this is what I would say is the volume where Shigaraki and Midoriya's personality story really starts going into gear, with Shigaraki being established. Oh, no, Shigaraki's not supposed to be a villain with this looming threat. He's supposed to be like a hero, in a villain story, the protagonist in it. Like, he is supposed to grow and become better along the road, just like Izuku is supposed to be. With the chapter Shigaraki, Midoriya and Shigaraki literally being one of the chapters in it, and the name of it. So, yeah. This is where I would say that it really starts to show, and it really also starts to show the corrupt society of the real world. Now, not specifically this volume, but it's more something that you realize the more and more you watch it, you read the story. And all of the other aspects of it, like with Endeavor's whole thing, with how, with Mount whole popularity thing. Just with, as long as you watch those, you kind of start seeing everything. But you know what? Let's go simply with the story and then talk about the character, since that's where we learn about such things. Let's start with the story. So it's after the sports festival, and the students are becoming, kind of popular with their performances, and people are knowing them more. And now it's time for the students to go into the world, since like every school that is supposed to make you ready for the job you go to, you need to get some actual experiences. Like, you can't just stay in a school for 3 years and then just go into the world and know it immediately after. Like, you have to go and experience it. So before that, they need to pick their names, which is honestly just a light-hearted chapter with just a bunch of funny names and just fun interactions. And Sexy Midnight, because my god, we require Sexy Midnight. So it's more or less that, and we still have some important draw moments when he focuses on I need to track down Stain and I need to eliminate him. So yeah, we still have some serious, but it's mostly lighthearted. And then we also find out about All Might's master Gran Torino. Now that is a pretty good idea, since I feel like there should have been always some heroes that should know about All Might's thing. I mean, maybe not the new ones or the one in the current generation, but some of the older generations. which is a very nice idea that Horikoshi has addressed that so early on, which granted it's volume 6, but it makes sense. Volume 6 would be the one you introduced that to. So, basically, All Might gives us a little hints to what Gran Torino was like, but it's not that we really meet him, which is bulk of this story with Gran Torino. So we get that meeting, and we get also some fun interactions. Like earlier on in the volume, it's pretty lighthearted, but still some serious moments, but it's still lighthearted more often than not. Also, something I should mention is that the artwork in this volume is like very really good, and the expressions. I mean, not to say the current ones is not are bad. I mean, I love the current ones. I mean, the scenes with Giganto Machia in the current ones are amazing, even though it's supposed to be extremely dramatized. But I don't know, is it because Horikoshi is just kind of still getting used to the art style, or is still just a harder style? I'm not sure why, but for some reason the artwork really works in this volume. So yeah. Anyways, back to the main topic. So Izuku meets the All Might's teacher Gran Torino, and we get him training. We get him finding out some new aspects and realizing some things that he should have realized pretty quickly. And we also find out how quickly on his feet will Izuku think for himself. So that's pretty nice to see. And now alongside that, we also have Shigaraki have his unofficial master, but that's pretty much what Stain is to Shigaraki, if we're being honest. His master, giving him kind of like different aspects to the villain world. Like, he needs to have conviction. He needs to, because he's hollow, his mindless tantrums of destruction. It's really what we're going with. Shigaraki has to develop in terms of his ideals, his goals, what he really wants to do, what he wants to bring to the world. Like, there's that type of development, and we are while alongside Izuku's development, which is nice. It's pretty much mostly just training for Gran Torino and some more or less ideological battle between Stain and Shigaraki, which, gotta be honest, that's what I would expect from these two psychopaths, but yeah, that's pretty much what we're having there. Now, at the end of the chapter, we actually get to the meat of the combat. Like, we get the attacks of the Nomus, and really get the mystery, or we get some clues on what the Nomus are. With them, us finding out that the USJ Nomu was actually a normal fuck with just a bunch of different DNA and a bunch of different quirks in him. And in this chapter, we see 3 other Nomus in there. So yeah, we basically get... Now, at the end, we also get Iida's confrontation of Stain. And we really see what level Stain is at, where he defeats a pro hero easily. And Iida is not even a challenge. Like, maybe you can make a sense because he was not in his right state of mind, but... In all honesty, even if Iida was in his right state of mind, he would still be crushed immediately. Like, no competition. So, yeah. It's not that Izuku and Shoto show up where they actually can put up a fight. No, I'm not really a fan of the fact how easily they put up a fight and what happens later, which we'll get into when we review Volume 7, with how it goes. But I honestly think that the reason why Izuku and Shoto are able to fight against Stain is, well, for one, Stain's main message is way more impactful if he gets captured and defeated than if he was just to like go there, slaughter Shoto, slaughter Izuku, a bunch of heroes show up, he runs away. So he needs to. So I get why. You know, I would not be surprised if he gets broken out, he'll like have some amazing feat or something to really show off how much powerful he still is. Like, even after being locked up for a long time, he's still able to fight off as well as he does during this volume, if not even better, in fact. So yeah, I really like where they're going with, and with Stain acknowledging Izuku, and I'm guessing also kinda Shoto, of being true heroes, which is a true message of Stain. And we end this chapter with basically Iida getting ready to fight alongside Shoto and Izuku against Stain, which was a pretty nice and short story. It's definitely more of a And the first part's more comedy and a little more of action. That's pretty much it for the story. Now let's go to the characters, which I would say is definitely where the meat of it goes. Let's go with the already known characters. The characters like All Might, Uraraka, Momo, all of these have more side plots. Like they are in and they have interactions and they do have things that lead further down the story with Momo's confidence, with All Might's kind of fear of Gran Torino. Like we get things with them, but it's nothing major. We only get like, alright, this is what the character is currently feeling, and they still are feeling that way. That they were affected, but it's nothing major. Now I like my favorite part is definitely where All Might, where he's kind of like completely scared. Like he just is look at the pictures of not in the picture that just always in the computer that Samantha was at, and he's like, oh, who was it this time? And he just like freaks out that he sees Gran Torino, and then after he's in his buff and hero form shows up, he's still scared off his mind, which is hilarious. Like, it's even more hilarious to see how Gran Torino looks right now and how he acts when Izuku meets him. Now, Izuku's development. I really like the whole showing how he's more intelligent thing, that he has to figure how he is going to use One for All for more than anything else. Because a lot of shonen battle manga go with the hero just going stronger and stronger and stronger. While in My Academia, we already know how powerful we need to. Izuku needs to develop into an already existing power. Like Black Clover is kind of doing it right now with the anti-magic devil, but My Academia is doing it from the beginning. Like first, Izuku has to at least be on All Might's level. Then he can get stronger and stronger and stronger. I like what we're doing with this. And I like how he has to find also a new way to fight different opponents. I like it how even Gran Torino states in the chapter, like, alright, you can fight me, you can train and all, and you get stronger, but if you just fight me, it's going to be pretty much pointless against other enemies. Which is something that they even support later, where Izuku says, like, yes, we know Stain's Quarter, how it works, like, but it's not going to matter to us. I mean, it's kind of like if, let's say, Izuku were to fight a villain that's a really bulky and steady guy. Sure, he knows the quirk, like it was a hardening or something, but that doesn't help you if the villain is way, way, way stronger and tougher than you are. So, I like that. I like kind of Ida's development from like rage and wanting to take him down. Like, I don't care about schoolwork, all I care is take him down, since he even had better offers than Manuel, and he, instead of like taking one of those, he picked that one specifically just because that it was in Hosu City, just so he can take down State, which is something that Aizawa finds weird. Or I'm 100% sure that he got better offers than this guy. So yeah, that speaks volumes for how much rage and how much focus does Ida have on taking down Stain. And I like how in the ending there's this dark shading in Ida's eyes where he's just rage obsessed and wants to take down Stain. And in the end of the chapter where he practically almost stands up to fight with Shoto and Izuku against them is really good. So yeah. Then we also have Shoto's development which is pretty much off the side, since it's only really at the ending where Shoto where he finds out knows how his classmates act. Like, even though he's maybe more distant from them, he's like, alright, I'm distant from everyone, but I'm pretty sure that they will not just text me out their location for no real reason. I like that. I like how he came and helped them. I like how he kind of is still, how he's also kind of being like, alright, I'm not gonna forgive my father. I will not accept. Probably never going to. But he is number two, and if I want to be the best hero, I should use that as an advantage to get to what makes a number two at least. Let's at least know how that happens. I like how he's still like, alright, with Izuku being kind of like, with your fire sign, he's like, this is my power. It's so simple. Why didn't I figure it out like before? I mean, sure, it's fire, but it's still mine. I mean, all that Endeavor did was like contribute in having it to me. It's nothing. And now to the character that I would say has the best, well, not really the best development, but the most interesting part in the story, which is Shigaraki. Now in this volume, he doesn't really progress any as much or even anything significant. By this is shown where how he has to grow and where he has the gap between him and Stain, where he wants Stain, he thinks they have the same ideals, but for some reason Stain acts like he doesn't. Like Stain can see potential in Shigaraki. I'm not sure if he actually saw. Oh, you know what? If I were to send him under the right path, he might follow me. Like, kind of be like what Dabi, Toga, and Spinner were. Which, granted, Dabi has an extreme version of Stain's ideology, where he thinks that there are no good heroes, while Stain at least thinks there are some, like All Might and Izuku, while Toga just sees it as the free world. Well, Spinner, honestly, is more of a copycat, and I'm not really sure how much he's still devoted to it after the whole My Villain Academia arc, but yeah. He could kind of see that potential, and Shigaraki kind of doesn't really really understands what Stain is saying. He mostly just, like, thinks, ugh, I hate you so much, how dare you hurt me? That's more or less what Shigaraki is doing. And it's not clear to him right now. I would say it's the next one where it starts to be clear to him, but right now he doesn't really care of Stain's ideology, even though he's kind of his master in his arc. But I like how he interacts, I like that he's chaotic nature, the way how he's drawn, especially during this volume. Like, it's amazing. Just to pick it out just for Shigaraki's artwork. So yeah, Shigaraki is so it doesn't really supposed to develop. He's supposed to hear it, but he doesn't really understand what is staying, and everyone's kind of talking to him or saying to him. Now on to the new characters. I'm not gonna focus on the pro heroes since they're honestly just there to be like kind of there to get us guys like basic personality traits, like how they kinda are. Like we get introduced to Best Genius number 4, but he doesn't really do much. We get introduced to 4 other heroes, but they have awesome more background characters than anything else. It's really Gran Torino and Stain where I would say it really shines. Now, let's start with Gran Torino. Now, Gran Torino, it is funny to me how first time we hear about him, he's like this seriously badass character. We like think Yamato or something, like just a very badass, insane powerful character. But then, after we see him for the first time, he's this goofy old man that's also very tiny. In fact, there's this little funny, not very funny in the scene there. It's more like some of the trivia about the characters where Hiroshi includes in his volumes. When he goes to Gran Torino and he's like, oh yeah, I found funny how we had this old guy wearing a more traditional, classic, like basic hero costume. Since, you know, he's basically supposed to be from an older era. Which I do like that. Which I do find funny and great. I mean, think about it. Someone like Endeavor who has like, also has a pretty simple costume, but it looks extremely intimidating. But Gran Torino has this super basic. So yeah, we start with him being more goofy and go-lucky, but we find that's just him pretending. Like it's just him acting one way, so Izuku to like figure out what he's doing. Which I really like the fact that he starts off with a more goofy expression, since you know it kind of forces Izuku to figure out what the heck is going on, what the hell is up with this old man. And I like how he's basically the first time we see him is like basically looks like he's died, like someone killed him or something, which was actually just turned to be spaghetti. Like it's funny as fuck. It's all hell. So yeah, I also like how he got trains Izuku, where he states that yes, when I trained All Might, I trained him purely on physical. Like he didn't really need anything, while Izuku does need something. I would honestly say the reason why Izuku has to train a different way is because All Might simply just made it so powerful. How it's even something that's addressed later in the story where, yeah, a lot of times these successors who were pretty much had like a very not really that long of a time, not really that much time to make it even stronger or train. So, yeah, it makes sense the whole why All Might will just have to be straight up physical. And I believe in the anime we even get included like a scene where we start to see Grantorino like beating the Avalon shit on All Might. So yeah. I like Grantorino's personality and how he is. I like how he once said he can be pretty goofy and hilarious, but in the next time he can be like serious, like, alright, let's truly focus something. Oh, you actually figured out. You actually picked a good one, All Might. Or something like, oh, let us go, like taxi. See, which is not really that big of a comedic, but it's like, oh, we have to really focus on it. I mean, I found a contradiction with his eyes first being blank when he's goofy, but then we actually see his eyes when he's serious, his real expressions. I like that much. I do like how he, even though he's retired, he's still like able to fight. Like people like Recover Girl, who definitely have been seen better days, um, cannot really fight that much. In fact, if she ever did, she probably cannot anymore. But I'm glad to, like even though he's very old, in fact, Endeavor even calls him an old timer. It He shown to be very capable when he fights against the normal. So yeah, I'm well like that. Now let's talk about this honestly the all star of this volume, and that's Stain. Let's start simple. His design is fucking awesome. I like the Image Comics appeal that Hiroshi did with him, since all of characters from Image Comics are overly muscular men that look like they could crush a fridge with their bare hands with multiple guns, multiple belts that hold bullets with guns inside of a mountain or something. Like, cool designs and concept, but way over the top. So I like the Stains, it's kind of like that, but also not. But I'm not really. I mean, we see his hands, and he is pretty physical capable, but he's not ridiculous. His sword, as he is decked out with swords, and my god, he has a lot of them. But he's still. But there's a reason why he has so much of them, because of his quirk. And because he can use them to fight much better. Which I like. Basically, his design was perfect. Now, as for his other character, as for his character, I like this idea where he's actually a hero, a villain who doesn't want to see like the world burn, doesn't have some kind of selfish gain. It's more like, alright, the heroes have lost their meaning. Like these are supposed to be the heroes. They are basically as greedy as the business people. I mean, they're all just acting, just look flashy to get a bunch of attention, a bunch of money and recognition. Like, that's all they're doing, day in and day out. I'm going to find these people, beat them the hell up, or even kill them. I believe it was even said that he did kill some heroes. And then I'll leave, and then they'll hopefully become better ones, or at least get rid of the weaker ones. Like, maybe they'll quit or something just so they will be out. Which his method is kind of effective since the cities who, after they're being attacked by him, do have a decrease in crime with the heroes being more vigilant. More walking around on every street, more patrolling, and the villains being more scared. Oh, okay, I could do up that bank, but wait a minute. Let's say I'll be a good example. Let's look at Genyoka. Oh, I could, but wait a second. That's very close to Genyoka's agency. And in the last couple of weeks, he's been seen patrolling streets 3 times a day. Or at least 3 of his sidekicks are seen patrolling a day. We better not attack. Which is nice to see. I like how she's potential in Shigaraki and Izuku, kind of a similar but different way. With Shigaraki being basically at his death's door when he reveals how he is, when he destroys the blade, which is an amazingly dumb panel. And against Izuku, where he's like, alright, I have nothing really here to gain except I have to save. Like, it's not in public, so it's not going to matter. I'm in in a disadvantage, but I'm a hero, so if you're gonna kill them, I have to protect them. It's my job. I like that, and how gleeful, oh yeah, this is a hero, finally, someone who can deserve the title. And even says, oh, thank God, you know what, you deserve to be around. Like, I'm gonna kill these two, but you can remain. Like, I mean, take this and learn from it. So, yeah, I like that. I also like how he states later on when Shoto and Izuku show him and he's like, 2-on-1, huh? Well, at least you two are on the eve by thinking it's unfair. So, yeah, I just like Stain. I feel like really, if you think about it, Stain's probably one of the best written characters since, let me remind you, this is not a very long, this is just 2 volumes. That's it. And these volumes, I would say, only somewhere in the middle Stain shows up, and then I don't have volume 7, so I didn't see exactly. Like, maybe I could check, I could definitely go and check to see what the chapters and titles are for volume 7. It's very easy, but I didn't. But still, I would say that this arc is about, it could be 1 volume each if it was structured differently, like by volume. A story in a volume. So I would say it would be around a volume of story, and he's done amazingly. A lot of people still view him one of the best villains. Like, he's done amazingly. So, yeah. Now, this is all I have to say about this volume. I hope you like this video. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. Now, tell in the comments below, what do you think about this volume? So, anyways, I hope I said that. Anyways, well, I hope to see all people next time. Bye.